to listen to you and all the key stakeholders who are committed to the unity of Nigeria to ensure that every region of this nation is safe for us all, while guaranteeing that the future is also secure for the coming generation. I wish to also use this occasion of New Year to reaffirm my commitment to the people of Nigeria, especially the youth who need our collective encouragement and support. In securing this nation, we need to secure the future of our youth. Our young people are our most valuable natural resource at home and abroad. Their ingenuity, creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurial spirit is evident to all. Many of our young people are excelling in various spheres of life, including sports, entertainment, information and communication technology, commerce, and are globally recognized as achievers. As a government, we are committed to actively engaging with the creative energies of our young people. In this regard, we will partner with the legislature to develop an enabling environment to turn their passions into ideas that can be supported, groomed, and scaled across regions. This will create vast opportunities in fintech, agriculture, business process startups, and in the entertainment industry. The year 2021 will indeed be a year where we will work to reinforce the hopes of fellow Nigerians in the vision of a united and progressive Nigeria. This administration will continue focusing on delivering key strategic priorities under our C: security, economy, and anti-corruption agenda. Some of the key priority areas we will direct our attention and strength to include re-energizing and reorganizing the security apparatus and personnel of the armed forces and the police with a view to enhance their capacity to engage, push back, and dismantle the operations of both internal and external extremists and criminal groups waging war against our communities in some parts of the country. In line with the current security challenges we are facing as a nation, I would like to reiterate the promise I made recently when over 300 of our boys abducted from Government Science Secondary School, Kankara, were successfully rescued by our security operatives. The professionalism shown by our security forces and the collaboration from all stakeholders across both state and federal governments that led to the successful rescue of the boys is proof that Nigeria has the internal capacity to decisively deal with terror attacks on our citizens. However, we recognize that we rapidly have to move to a more proactive and preemptive posture to ensure that these sorts of traumatic incidents do not become a norm. Our administration is fully aware of the responsibility we have to protect the lives and property of all Nigerians, and we will not relent in learning and adapting to changing threats to our national security and civic well-being. On economy, our focus on revamping the economy through the national economic diversification agenda that supports the primary goal of national food self-sufficiency. This has helped reduce the growing food-related inflationary figures and have in considerable measure positively impacted on our food security status during the long months of the pandemic lockdown. We are also currently rebuilding our national infrastructure base and in the process introducing transformation through the rehabilitation, modernization, and expansion of the railway system, national roads and bridges both in rural and urban centers alongside the airports and seaports. The reforms we have put in place in the power sector would guarantee increased efficiency in our drive to significantly expand the generation and distribution of electricity for use in homes and factories. As an administration, we are currently undertaking a series of social interventions designed to boost job creation and support the entrepreneurial drive of our youth. With the recent opening of our borders, we expect that the pent-up demand of legitimate cross-border and international trade will boost the fortunes of the many small businesses and agricultural enterprises that depend on Nigeria trade and commerce. The message to our West African neighbors is that Nigeria is once again fully open for those willing to conduct business in a fair and equitable way. On the anti-corruption drive of our administration, we have recorded substantial gains so far and this year. We are committed to continuing along the path of eradicating corruption through collaboration with all the arms of government to effectively prosecute this fight. While we would be working with the legislature to enact laws that will strengthen this fight, we will also be looking at reviewing some of our laws which would ensure that this fight is more effective. On the part of the executive, we would ensure the diligent and timely prosecution of corruption cases while appealing to the judiciary to ensure that corruption cases are dispensed with expeditiously. The persistence of various forms of violence has meant that in the most affected parts of the country, the fabric of inter-communal harmony woven through years of investment, of effort at building trust, mutual respect, and harmony has been threatened. Insecurity as a challenge has direct repercussions on our national economic stability, growth, and development, setting us back at critical points through the destruction of public and private investments. In parts of the country where chronic poverty, social exclusion, and disillusionment among sections of the youth were already a problem, the circles of violence that have been unleashed by mindless groups like Boko Haram and others have thwarted the efforts of government to undertake the social policy and associated investments that could make a huge difference in the quality of life of our citizens. I am aware that for some of our compatriots, the progress we have registered since the inception of this administration is not nearly as fast or as efficient as they would wish. I do not begrudge them their views insofar as they signify a wish in which we all share, for only the very best is for our country. Nevertheless, I call upon all Nigerians to carefully recall the circumstances of our coming to office. the facts on the ground, and the resources at our disposal since 2015 with the accomplishments of this administration. As a people, we have shown admirable resilience in the face of every adversity and unmatched capacity to recover speedily from every setback, and unparalleled generosity of spirit when we resolve our differences, and a constant readiness to invest faith and hope in the destiny we share as a united country built on the diversity of its peoples. It is these attributes that underpin the Nigerian spirit of can do, will do, that gives me hope that we shall yet get to the destination and fulfill our calling together, especially with the solid resolutions we are setting in this new year. Keeping our country on a forward march is a duty which we all have and share. In this regard, keeping our country safe from a resurgent cycle of COVID-19 as this administration finalizes its plans to procure and efficiently and effectively distribute the COVID-19 vaccines, I urge you all fellow citizens to observe strict COVID-19 prevention protocols. As you are elected president, my pledge to you is the same as it has always been. I will play my part fully and without fear or favor. I invite all of us to do the same. It is what we owe to the founding generation of our beloved country and also to the coming generation. It is what we desire for national prosperity for all demands. Long live the Nigerian spirit of oneness, togetherness, and unity. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. A happy, prosperous New Year. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Broadcasting worldwide, the latest hits and the greatest memories. Fresh. 107.9 FM.
It's exactly 20 minutes gone past 7 a.m. This is your Feel Good Radio, Fresh 107.9 FM Abeokuta. Great morning to you, wherever you're listening to us from. Today, Friday, the 1st of January, 2021. Happy New Year to you. Great to know you're there joining us. Hope your morning has started the brightest way possible. Hope your 2021 has started the brightest way possible. Because we did link up with the presidential broadcasts as the rest of the world and Nigeria, of course, celebrates the new year. Quite a number of things said by the president. Well, we'll roughly mention some of them and mention some of those headlines on the dailies as we do every morning. It's freshly pressed this Friday. We're live for the year 2021. Wale Bakare is my name. Good to know you're there. Joining us this morning. Mr. Ide, I know, is with us this morning. Happy New Year to you, sir.
Same to
Good
you,
to see
Wale,
you, really.
and same to everybody, listening to us now.
Well, the president's speech kickstarted things this morning.
Yeah.
We, listened
Yeah, right,
to
right.
a lot of things that the president had to say. Kept passing comments. The
Yeah.
president, of course, assured that the focus remains on, the three C's:
Yeah.
economy, security, anti-corruption. And
No.
these three areas,
Yeah.
one has to acknowledge, were really, really troubled in the last year. Questions were raised as
Yeah,
regards
right.
what this administration was doing as regards these three areas. The economy, no thanks to the COVID-19
Okay.
and some other issues, we're back in recession. Security, well,
Yeah,
you know
well,
the story.
it's-
As far as the anti-corruption fight is concerned,
Yeah.
many question the wheel of government. Many have even looked at situations where of late we've had two cases
Yeah.
that have been thrown out and then fresh trials, all that.
Yeah.
And many link that to politics. And they say, well, this fight and all. But many have just punctured these three areas of this administration. And the hope, of course, is
Yeah.
that the story will be different 2021.
I'm not sure many Nigerians will believe that the story will be different, because there are no signs on the ground to show that there's going to be difference. Whichever way you want to look at it. Okay, let's take the insecurity issue. It's been ravaging the nation, even up to today. Yesterday in Kogi, a 28-year-old pregnant woman, was shot. In Ondo, another businessman, was killed. And it's all over. So, I was expecting the president, to talk specifically on how he's going to reverse this. And many people have even...
Well, he spoke about recruitment of new guys into the security agencies and all.
Recruitment. I would have thought that the president would tell us about efforts being made, to use technology to solve some of these problems, or link up with some countries, to seek assistance. Because we don't have enough equipment, to fight insecurity. But the problem is, even this insecurity is spreading to so many other areas, and so it becomes multiple. Of kidnapping and all that. But instead, just state governors, should beef up their security architecture, because for me, it's beyond the federal government. Yeah, the federal government can do a lot, maybe vis-a-vis Boko Haram, but we are talking of kidnapping, for ransom, and so many other things happening in states. So people feel they cannot travel from one place to the others. Well, I'm not too convinced, but the president has assured us. Let's just believe in that assurance that he's going to do more recruitment, especially into our borders, because so many things are happening through the borders. And so when guns come in, anti-aircraft guns and what have you, that's one side of it. Well, but for the economy too, so many people are very poor in this country. There is no doubt in that fact. Now, many people have even said that much. There's poverty writ large, in this country. This last Christmas and this New Year, so many traders have been crying out. We are not selling, because there is no money in people's pocket. And if you want to bring people out of poverty, we must have serious plans on the ground. The government must think out of the box, to say, okay, this is a problem facing us, in the face, and looking at, staring us in the face, and we want to do certain things, concrete things. Are you concentrating on agriculture? Are we using mechanized agriculture? Are we assisting farmers, to be able to plow the land, clear the land?
Just increase their
productivity and all that. Are we concentrating on the small, medium, and micro, medium, and small scale enterprises? I expect that much. Then how are we assisting even the youths in particular? Because you talking of youths unemployment, it's about 60%. How are we pumping money, into different projects, to attract the youths? Are we assisting those in the area of technology and what? I expect more elaborate things, but he has assured us. Let's just believe that something will happen in the area of economy. But for anti-corruption, I'm sure not many Nigerians will believe, because even out of the people that have been imprisoned, I mean, because they were found guilty by the court. You talk of Ojizo Kalu is out. You talk of Oli Sametu is out. Even the Dari is already back in court saying, I mean, I'm not guilty. There are so many things. And we are talking of bias. In fact, EFCC said it at that of Oli Sametu. You are talking of bias. Yes, you said if the judge was biased, you are not even talking of the case we brought to the court. The case against this man taking 400 million naira and through his companies and all that. So it's I think we are not. It's not serving any good example to people. In fact, Shimaro Keinamani, that spoke yesterday too. He had been. I mean, his case is still in court, and they are in the National Assembly, as senators. So, I mean, I think they should show us more. If you want to fight corruption, use technology to fight corruption. That's what some other countries do. Use technology to fight corruption. But all these you try cases for so long, and if you want to put in place special courts, walk through the courts and walk through the judiciary to establish more courts. So that these cases
can be hastened up
expeditiously, treated.
Anyway, 2020 was one of the most trying years for Nigeria. That's one of the things the president said a couple of minutes ago. Some of the dailies, the beauty about the digital opportunities that you can put things there very quickly. The Punch says 2021 we will face all challenges head on, says Buhari, is on the Punch. This morning. Well, because a number of things will be said about the presidential statement, I'm sure, into today, tomorrow. Yeah. But, just before the president's broadcast, a number of headlines on the dailies. Rising COVID-19 cases, NUT cautions federal government against January 18 schools resumption date. That is on the Punch this morning. The Guardian, they have the latest numbers as far as the COVID pandemic is concerned. The Tribune, also with those numbers, reported yesterday by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, 1,031 new COVID cases, as total rises to 87,510 is on the Tribune. You also find it on the Premium Times this morning. The Pempushi newspapers says Buhari signs Nigeria's 2021 budget into law. Is on the Pempushi newspapers this morning. Buhari signs Nigeria's 2021 budget into law. You'd also find on the Premium Times, there's this report on the Premium Times says 2021 budget again. Buhari overlooks National Assembly's frivolous earnings. Is on the Premium Times. This morning, Buhari praises 2020 budget performance, tasks revenue agencies with meeting 2021 target. It's also on the Premium Times. The Tribune, with this report, says Shore arrested in Abuja, according to reports. Is on the Tribune this morning, though. There's also CBN weakens Naira to record low in year-end trade. Is on the Tribune as well this morning. The Guardian, with some COVID-related stories, talking about plans by government. We will complete legislative actions on PIB, Electoral Act, says Senate President. Is on the Guardian as well. Sanwo-Olu signs 1.16 trillion naira 2021 budget into law. Is also on the Guardian. I think after the country, the only other state that talks about trillions is Lagos.
It's Lagos, yeah.
Every one is in the billion. Anyway, a number of governors signed in budget the last 2 days of the year. Makinde recounts successes in 2020. Is on the Guardian as well. The Punch says federal government will ensure speedy determination of corruption cases, says Buhari. That's part of the things the president said. Quite a number of them. But we'll take a very quick break and talk about some of these headlines very quickly because of our time this morning. Don't go anywhere.
Abeokuta, congratulations, yo! The hospitality industry leader, don't land the bar. For Abeokuta, yes, ke Academy Suits. The Babala Hotel Wetanda for Ibadan, the cultural capital of Yoruba land. Don't open for Abeokuta Academy Suits. Una home away from home hotel. We get the Ogbonga comfort for we customer. Plus include leisure with proper cleanliness. Na Academy Suit to get ham. Plus include Olympic size swimming pool with security na watertight. For our restaurant, you go Baladu Continental and the local food with the chekele money. Everything about Academy Suit na quality with unbeatable low price. To confirm waiting at the talk, forward match now to Academy Suit, went and Dagidigba beside Abadia Central Mosque, MKO Abiola Way, Abeokuta, Abikukuma. They call this number 0817 6666 601. Academy Suit, na home away from home.
Scaling the hurdles of JAMB, WAEC, NECO, and GCE at one sitting can boost your confidence significantly. To achieve this, you need highly experienced tutors. Lawson Continuing Education Center, with several decades of enviable faith in guiding students to one attempt examination success for tutorial that guarantees excellent result at one sitting. Enroll today at Alaban Lawson Royal College, opposite Simeon Adibo Library, Koto Abeokuta. Morning and afternoon classes available. Lectures start on Monday, 11th of January 2021. For further enquiries, please call 0803 361 0977 0803 361 0977. Lawson Continuing Education Center. Come, let's succeed together.
Thank you for staying with us. It's freshly pressed this Friday morning because I breached because of the presidential broadcast, which kickstarted things at 7 o'clock. But thank you for joining us. Happy New Year to you once again if you're just joining the program. Remember, at Fresh FM Abeokuta on Twitter is where you drop your contributions as we run along. We'll try as much as possible to talk to as many of you as we can via the phone lines this morning because of our time. But just like I said earlier, the Tribune and a number of the other dailies with the latest numbers reported by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control says Nigeria records 1,031 new COVID-19 cases as total rises to 87,510. Lagos had the highest of the cases yesterday, 570 reported in Lagos, the FCT 117, Kaduna 109, Nasarawa 34, Bauchi 31, Kano 28, Plateau and Sokoto 26 each, Ogun 25, Edo 18, Rivers 16, Abia 10, Imo 7, Taraba 6, and then there's Delta and Osun with 4 new cases each. That's as reported by the NCDC. It's right there on many of the dailies this morning. The Punch, as this other report says, rising COVID-19 cases, NUT cautions federal government against January 18th school's resumption date. That comes with the riders. Teachers will stay at home if infections increase, says Teachers Union. Prepare for more COVID-19 patients in need of oxygen. NMA tells federal government. Now, the Nigerian Union of Teachers on Thursday cautioned the federal government against the January 18th resumption date for schools across the country. The NUT Secretary General, Dr. Mike Ike, who said this in an interview, said there was no need to early resume if the rate of COVID-19 infection kept increasing. Ike stated that if coronavirus infection was increasing, teachers would stay at home. I recall that the PTF had on December 17 said the country had entered the second wave. The PTF at its press briefing on December 21 said the federal government had ordered all schools to remain shut until January 18 as part of efforts to battle COVID-19 second wave. Well, the NUT scribe says, I'm someone who believes in life, and it is when there is life that you can have a proposal. The number we're having shows that this second wave is more horrible. If the PTF and the NCDC are able to tell us about the new discoveries, then we can decide if we should stay at home or resume. As for all the COVID-19 protocols that teachers have been practicing them in schools, that was why WAEC was held. If they feel this one is more rapid in terms of new infections, it means the teachers will stay at home. Prepare for more COVID patients in need of oxygen. That's according to the NMA. The national president, Professor Innocent Uja, said he was aware of a shortage of oxygen in hospitals and urged government to provide the gas in large quantity. Uja said, I quote, I'm aware of it, that shortage of oxygen. Recall that Lagos has established some centers for oxygen. Unfortunately, this disease is coming in various shapes and sizes. And the reason is that there were things that we did not know before now because of COVID-19. Government has to respond appropriately by setting up oxygen production centers. We need to have oxygen in huge volume. This is in contrast to what we thought we were doing. We need oxygen that will appropriately take care of all the cases that will come to the isolation centers and hospitals. Some Abuja hospitals go to ABUTH, that's Ahmadu Bello University Teaching Hospital, for oxygen. That's according to the NMA president. Many COVID patients will need oxygen to survive, according to the Lagos NMA as well. Late presentation requires more oxygen, Abuja NMA. It goes on and on. You'll find all of them on the Punch. Rising COVID cases, NUT cautions FG against January 18 schools resumption date. Because of the COVID, we continue to say it was a tough 2020. It appears like it will be some challenging start to the year as well because of the numbers. Remember, the NCDC, speaking earlier in the week, said expect a tougher January.
Yeah, because of the biology of this second strain, is something that runs, wide, and that's the reason why they are talking of oxygen. But beyond oxygen is the fact that let's look at NUT on its own. NUT is being scientific. They are saying don't rush students to school, or don't rush teachers, because teachers won't go unless you can determine that the thing is not spiking. Like what happened in Israel, when the thing spiked to the extent that this Thursday, Israel had to close back the schools again because 4,500 on daily basis, and they said no, we don't have it. And they agreed, even in Germany, that they probably open the schools early enough, and so that's why they are now warning that teachers will not go back to school unless you study it and find out that it is safe. Because when you look at students, apart from the mask that you can see, they play together. What else would they be washing their hands every 5 minutes? Students. So that's why they are cautioning. But for the oxygen, I think Anthony just said something that the governors should take very seriously. He's saying governors take money. They claim that they were elected on the basis of the promise they made to the people. Why are you not providing oxygen? It's only in Lagos that you have about 10 the centers now. So he's warning that you don't run to the federal government. This thing requires governors taking charge, and they are not providing enough PPE, personal protective equipment. Then they are not even providing personnel, and they are not even providing enough drugs. I think this is a very good one, because he is saying this second wave, people will need more oxygen, especially late reports when they bring people who probably had been kept at home and they get to the hospital. What they need first, especially isolation centers, is oxygen. I think it's a clear warning, to the federal government and the state governments in particular. Let them take responsibility. That's what he's saying.
Well, incidentally, I know that a lot of parents as well at some point will join the calls and say, let's have the students back in school, because I know there was a time parents began to complain about the schools being completely shut. Yeah. And what is important to note is that these decisions are based on science, based on empirical figures that are reported every day. Yeah. And the only reason figures are being reported to some extent is because some of us have decided to be very nonchalant about these protective measures. The sooner we begin to take them serious, the sooner we begin to have reduced numbers. Hopefully,
the president said that much. The president appealed to people, to use these non-pharmaceutical protocols. You use your face mask and all that. I think it's what people should do now, because it's spiking. Even yesterday, you can imagine the number of people, the number of infections that we have in the whole country. I think it's getting larger and larger. And
interestingly, when people look at the numbers, talk about the numbers we are testing, and then they say, well, then let's imagine what the numbers could be if the testing capacity was a lot higher than what we have at the moment. Well, it's worrying, but hopefully there's this hope that comes with the new year, and a number of people will just be very hopeful. The first case was reported in February in Nigeria, and February 2020. Between then and yesterday, 948,048 samples had been tested. So it just tells you what our testing capacity is. There was this report, the Punch had this report yesterday about the states and how many they have tested. You'd be shocked some numbers
because
that you find in some
states. The states didn't prepare for it, and the states depends more
on the federal
on the federal government. And it's not supposed to be so, because you have your own budget, you have everything, you have health facilities and all that. You have to provide. That's what Anthony Uja is saying. Innocent Uja, please, state governors should take responsibility, and I think that is very instructive.
All right. Running on very quickly, the president spoke about security and the plans to fight it. The Punch has its reporters camels now bringing grenades, anti-aircraft guns, others. That's according to the Pan-Northern Social Political Group, the Arawa Consultative Forum. They have raised the alarm that camels are now being used to bring into the country rocket-propelled grenades and anti-aircraft guns through the northern borders. National chairman of the ACF, Chief Audu Ogbe, who disclosed this in a statement he personally signed, said the weapons were being ferried into the country from neighboring countries. The statement was titled "Our Borders and Insecurity," and made available to by the National Publicity Secretary of the Forum, Manuel Yahweh. However, did not mention any country or any part of the country, any country in particular, adding that the information was provided by ACF members from Sokoto and Zamfara states. Nigeria, through the Sokoto and Zamfara states, shares borders with the Republic of Niger. Ogwe said the body found it duty-bound to alert the federal government to the situation in order for urgent and necessary actions to be taken.
Yeah, we should call a spade, and that's what he's saying. We know the border that they are talking about. It's Niger, whichever. Is it Niger? Yes, but we have others. You have Cameroon, you have Chad, and it is very dangerous. That's what the man is saying. If Arewa Consultative Forum is now crying loud, I think the government should take it seriously. In fact, he went up to the extent of even saying, it's either the people, the security agencies are not studying, they are keeping their arms, they are keeping their arms at akimbo, or something is happening, or they see it and they take their eyes away. And he's saying at a point in time when this thing comes, when this equipment coming in time, they may be ready to challenge, the federal government security agencies, and I think that would be very dangerous. On many occasions, even on this platform, we have said it, that we have 1,119 porous borders and so many things coming. The federal government shut the borders to stop it, but a lot is being done through the camels. Well, camels are free to come in, but we must check them. That's what they're saying. It's dangerous.
This is right there on the Punch this morning. The president signed the budget into law on the very last day of the year 2020. On many of the dailies, the pen-pushing newspapers says Buhari signs Nigeria's 2021 budget into law. It's on the pen-pushing newspapers. It's also on the Premium Times. Buhari praises 2020 budget performance, tasks revenue agencies with meeting 2021 target. Is on the Premium Times. The president of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, was also at that short ceremony of the budget signing, and he had a number of things to say after that ceremony. While speaking to journalists, we'll complete legislative actions on PIB Electoral Act, says Senate President. He also spoke about the borrowings, saying that the National Assembly will continue to do things in the interest of Nigerians, saying it is important for us to borrow, especially where there is revenue shortage. And what is important, according to him, what the National Assembly I've always said, is that if we are borrowing, it has to be for infrastructure, and every borrowing has to be tied to particular projects. Nigeria will exit recession early 2021, says Lawan. Is also on the Punch this morning. A number of the dailies talking about some of the things that happened yesterday at the State House quarters in Abuja, and of course, what the Senate President had to say after. Of course, what a lot of Nigerians will also be looking at the legislature this 2021. We know what happened last year. So many talks, insinuations about being rubber stamp, and then at some other points, a number of things were said. But this year, 2021, it's going to be a crucial one for this night assembly.
And I'm not sure it's going to be any different, from what we have, because even the Ahmed Lawan stated emphatically that they are going to support the president, which, in fact, flatly, outlandishly, he's saying we will support the president, to succeed and all that. And it tallies along.
But isn't that the expectation?
No, it's the expectation, but there are times when you have to show the president when it's going on the other side of it, that it's not crossing the red line. And we are seeing it. People boys were kidnapped, in Kankara and all that. Even after that, even in Katsina, another 80. They said, come and address us on the security situation, the president said no, it's not. He wasn't going to go. And at a point in time, one would have thought that since some people in the National Assembly, some senators in the House of Reps, are of the opinion that we should at least shake Mr. President, just like Galinaba, did to Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. Galinaba knew that it may not have succeeded, the impeachment, but he initiated it to show the president that yes, we can punish, we can do something. Because even Ahmed Lawan even said it, that we have invited, we have made resolution on 2 occasions. This is the 3rd one. If the president didn't do anything, we are going to take another action. And up to tomorrow, no action. What we are saying is, at least let them even start the procedure. They may not succeed, but at least they will show the president that yes, we have this impeachment thing on our hand. But he didn't do it. So I don't think there's going to be any difference. And another sign is, he has even increased their budget. Yes, I increased their budget.
Well, they increased their budget, and the president didn't say anything about it.
Yes. So that's what. No, he even added it in his own presentation at the initial stage. He added more money in his own presentation, which means is this party thing we are talking about. So I don't see. I'm not optimistic that there's going to be any different. They are going to tag along, whether party line or whatever.
Well, just FYI, the approved budget. 13.6 trillion is against the 13.08 trillion presented by the president or proposed by the president. That's over 505 billion naira more. Over 6 billion naira increase for the National Assembly. 134 billion was budgeted for the National Assembly out of the 496 allocated for statutory transfers. Well, it's right there. The president proposed 128, but because the lawmakers felt we need more. It's the assembly, and they added some more. But for some Nigerians, they look at these figures and say, at a time where we are going to be borrowing largely to fund our capital expenditure, at a time where you say resources are dwindling because of the COVID. A number of Nigerians look at the figures and expect sacrifices to be made across some quarters, although you could also argue, some people would also look at it and say, well, why do they have to make those sacrifices? But you'd expect that we wouldn't be having increasing numbers, but that's the situation.
Compare it to the U.S., eventually, Trump signed 2.3 trillion, but the money is going to individuals. The money is going to Americans. Initially, he proposed 600. I think the Democrats proposed 600. Now I think at another point, the Democrats proposed $2,000 each, and they feel it should be 600. But Trump did the first one. He approved the $2,000. But it's going to individuals as a palliative for COVID-19. What palliative is being done for Nigerians? It's only done to the National Assembly members, and that's why I'm of the opinion that there won't be any serious challenge from the National Assembly. We'll stroll to 2023. Maybe another group might come in, but this group, I'm not optimistic that anything is going to be party business. But it's good. I mean, it's better to judge than war because in the final analysis, the country suffers.
All right. We'll complete legislative actions on PIB, electoral access. Senate President is on The Guardian. A number of the other dailies with some other stories to look out for this morning. For those of you who missed the presidential broadcasts, the gist of it, will face all challenges head on, says Buhari. Is part of the things the president said. He also said that, border reopening Nigeria fully open for business. Buhari tells Ghana, others. And then he appealed to all to obey the non-pharmaceutical measures to fight the COVID-19 and quite a number of things. He promised that his administration will, in his words, intensify efforts as far as improving the economy, fighting corruption, and ensuring security of lives and property in the country. Well, I don't know. We'll just talk to you very quickly because of our time. We started things late this morning. At Fresh FM Abeokuta on Twitter, the numbers 0815-432-1079, 0818-111-1079. Let's make it quick, everyone, please. Thank you. Hello, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Mr.
Yes,
Wale.
good morning.
Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Shall I from Michigan? Yeah, I just want to have my take quickly.
Just go ahead.
The point remains that in government speech, I mean the Mr. President's speech this morning, I think there are 3 promises in what he is saying, but we don't need promises anymore. He has taken some measures to take some actions on particular things like insecurity and others, but still, we still need fast approach on everything. Like if they needed, like Arewa said now, they have some certain things happening, like within the corridor, and it's not known. So, you understand now? So they should take proper action at this time around. You understand now? If there is international, they want to, include the international stuff, they should include it. If they want to recruit, they should recruit.
All right. Thank you. I know you could go on and on. Good morning. Wow. Hello, good morning. Yes, good morning to you. Well, you'd have to try again. Good morning.
Good morning, Wale.
Yes, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
My name is Paul Uni. I'm calling from Ajokuta.
Quickly.
Long time.
Happy New Year to all of you.
Same to you.
2021 be a wonderful year for us. I've listened to Mr. President and I feel a little bit assured because he has promised to rejig the security apparatus. He has also promised that the 2021 budget will be fully implemented. I'm happy for one thing that most governors have signed in their budget. The president has signed the budget also. That means that everybody at attention for the economy. So I just hope for the best. I hope it does a good rejig of the security apparatus, as I have said. And I pray that Nigeria overcomes COVID-19 completely, praying and then asking our people to obey the protocols. God bless you all. God bless our new year. In Jesus Christ.
Thank you. Amen. Hello, good morning.
Amen.
Hello, good morning, Wale.
Yes, good morning to you.
Good morning, my dear brother Eddie. I know.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, on the issue of the budget, I want to appreciate right from the Mr. President to some of these state governors who have signed the budget of 2021 into law. I want to appreciate them, and they should not just sign the budget. They should make sure that they really follow what they put in the budget and think out of the box. Now, the problem we're having to some of our governors is that some of them are not thinking out of the box. The political will is not there for some of them. That is why you can see what they are doing about COVID-19, running to Mr. President and some other issues of their states. So they should think out of the box rather than appointing so many aides. The hands are just too much. Maybe that is also dragging them back to work as it is expected. So they should, in this 2021, think out of the box. Be more proactive. Be more at attention for whatever you want to do. That will bring about
Mr. White,
to our people. Thank you. Good morning.
Yes, thank you. Hello. Okay, we lost that. Hello, good morning. What is going on? Hello, good morning. Well, the connection not the smoothest. I see a number of you trying to talk to us very quickly. Good morning to you. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Please turn on the volume.
Good morning.
Okay.
Engineer, need enough you here. Happy New Year to you.
Same to you.
From Yaba.
You're calling from Yaba. Quickly.
Happy New Year to you. We appreciate what you are doing. We thank God for fresh. It will continue to progress and serve the nation. God will continue to bless you too in Jesus' name. I want to talk about the budget issue.
Go ahead.
Another one that we are talking about was the one that said Mr. President should not sign electoral law to electoral bill to law, and that is why they conducted that election, last election, that it went the way it went. And so we can expect by this thing we are talking about. The budget we are talking about, the National Assembly have gotten their budget. They should remember the masses. Lagos Ibadan Road is a mess, and people are suffering there. They should pay attention to where they should pay attention. Then this national identity card issue, they should go back to the street, make money available. If they want to rig election, they will make money available at all cost. They should remember the masses. We are the people they are serving that are sworn to serve us. You are now the raging on what they do.
Hello? Well, you had a lot to say. Well, we'll take a very quick pause and return in a moment. Please don't go anywhere.
When the desirable becomes unavailable, then the available becomes the desirable. Now, the desirable is here. Brought to you by Aquifer Water Technical Services. The days of installing problematic boreholes are over. Aquifer is here to make your desired dreams of installing boreholes in the most seamless, technology-facilitated way a reality. They pride themselves on high integrity and professionalism with accurate and impeccable underground water survey. Their boreholes and installations are with up-to-date technology. You can also count on them to help you maintain your borehole to make it long-lasting. All their equipments are from overseas. Do you have a borehole that is giving you issues or you want to install a new borehole? Contact Aquifer Water Technical Services today at OM68, second floor, Omida Shopping Mall, opposite Omida Market. Telephone 0803-521-9273 or 0815-568-7878. Aquifer Water Technical Services. We excel in borehole technology.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's wrap things up this morning on the program. Twitter, Olakomin Larry says, Happy New Year to all and sundry. I will encourage the pessimists and those who always express premonitions about the country to renew their faith in God. On the part of government, they should administer the country with the fear of God. 2021 will be a great year, he says. He prays. Happy prosperous New Year, freshly pressed family. That's Edna Abayami. Thank you. Reverend Zachariah says, Good morning, Nigerians. Happy New Year. This 2021 is going to be a prosperous year in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Real Aruz says, Why is Irawa raising alarm that Camels is bringing bombs to Nigeria? And when Farakuka complained about security challenges, the same Irawa cried blue murder. PNB has no idea on how to tackle security challenges, it says. S.A. Lawal says all these scary words, figures is too early this new year. I beg. Apart from rolling out scary figures every day, what else are leaders doing for God's sake? We private school teachers must survive. I'm still waiting for number of COVID from Kogio. Well, I think this individual, Mr. Abidemi, I understand he's a private school teacher. I understand the sentiment on his part because the COVID must have stopped him from work and was affected all over. But trust me, the numbers, we're not reeling them out just for you to be scared. Sometimes I look at the numbers and I'm scared myself. But these are information that we need to give for all of us to look at it and say, man, well, this is something that is growing. We have to protect ourselves. We have to run. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you this year. I hope it's a prosperous year.
Yeah, it is.
As a number of people have hoped.
Yeah, it's going to be.
All right. That's the program this morning. Wale Bakare is my name. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your 2021.